I almost have a knee-jerk reaction to when you look out at the crowd for me to raise my hand. And my questions change as this co-creative event unfolds.
Yes.
And I do want to thank you and all the other co-creators for enriching this experience beyond my expectations. And I wanted to keep my expectations at an even keel.
Not beyond your expectations, but beyond your ability to acknowledge your expectations. Nothing can ever be more than your expectations. It's sort of like that big gong that Esther hits in the center to announce her arrival. The sound will never stop, but their ability to hear it will.
I had no check on my anticipation and the amount of joy I wanted to feel. But if I set up expectations, in my mind, that was a bit of pushing against.
We think so too, and that's why we want to say step one is doing all of the anticipating. Step one really is. When you deliberately try to anticipate something, that's just a process or a function of tuning to the frequency of your vortex. Anticipation is fine if it comes easy, just don't work hard at it.
Okay.
Don't you like to be surprised and delighted? Don't you like just knowing that well-being is abounding? And then don't you like the way it will surprise you and delight you as it comes?
I certainly do.
Yeah.
And in this conference, when I have my ass in a knot and you untie it, I'll retie it. And then I'll go out there and I'll talk to others and they'll chill me out and I'll get to the place that they're at that I want to go. Here it's easy. And I'm not going to look for problems, but I do want to know how I can use my relationship with the cadre, in your word, of non-physical entities in a more sustainable manner. Because at this resort, it's easy to feel good. There are so many good things to focus on. In the day-to-day, I can think about things that are less empowering. And I do indeed use your approach. I'll go into what we call my hobbit hole, where I put frames together. Time will stand still or it will pass quickly, whatever my preference seems to be. I'll accomplish what I need to. I'll accomplish things beyond what's occurring in the frame shop effortlessly and easily. And I wanted to know if I could work more in a direct manner with my non-physical cadre, one person in particular. But if I expand my mind a little bit, it's all good, and they're all good, and I can create more of a complex dinner or creation by using more. But I wanted to know if there's a way to do that to a greater degree at a conscious level, so I don't have to rely on other Abraham-like-minded people to adjust my trajectory when I'm going south, let's say.
Well, see, here's the thing. When you interact with other people, first of all, the people that are surrounding you and the people with whom you're having conversations, law of attraction has already sorted them out, and they're sort of pretty much where you are. So what usually happens is you just continue to have a conversation pretty much about where you are, where when you are conversing or cohabitating, as you say, with that broader perspective, what you're wanting to do in your question to us is hold yourself. You would use the word sustain that vibration longer, and sustaining is about focusing. So I have some questions for you. So when you are doing whatever it is you're doing, as you are in your frame shop, when you are having those experiences, do you find your mind wandering about something beyond what you are physically doing? Most would. Most minds wander far from what they are doing, and most people in a situation like that are sort of going through perfunctory motions without giving too much thought to it. Do you find that to be the case with you from time to time?
Occasionally. I deal with equipment that does not forgive irreversible errors easily. And the only time I ever had...
That's a wonderful thing. So it's asking for a lot of focus from you.
And I listen to YouTube, I listen to Abraham while I'm doing my work. If I have to run the vacuum, I will shut the segment, do what I need with the equipment on that uses a vacuum, and then go back to, but I'm in a better zone than if I were just in a blank space.
The reason that we're asking, and all of you can identify with this is a really good conversation that we're on the brink of. So as you are in the action mode of doing whatever you're doing, let's just, for sake of this example for a moment here, let's assume that you are in alignment, that nothing has gone on and that your mind isn't wandering, and that you really are having one of those moments where it's you and your inner being enjoying working through you. Your inner being is enjoying your physicality and your focus and your accomplishment and your expansion and your evolution. The reason that we ask the question is because we would not, if we were standing in your physical shoes, want our mind to be wandering about a lot of things beyond what we are doing, because the now is richer and the momentum will become more, and the results of that faster momentum will be a more fulfilling high to you if you do not allow yourself to be distracted by other thoughts. Now, seems to you like even listening to a recording of a gathering like this would be conducive to alignment, but we want you to consider this, is being in this moment. We've been talking about that a lot just now. Feeling the power of your now, which is all of your physical senses intertwined with the knowing of your inner being, you being an extension of source energy flowing through you, is your relationship with that source energy who's powerfully focused with you in your now a better focus than listening to another person talking about whatever they're talking to next door, or even listening to Abraham talking to other people about other things?
It is indeed. And it is indeed to the degree where I'll take the creation and show my wife, who I'm doing this business for, how perfect it came out. And I'm thinking, these are not my hands making this happen. Because if I had to do it with my hands, otherwise it's luck, and I get too much luck, and I'm just...
They are your hands being guided by your greater mind. Esther enjoys watching construction. Often she's driving down the road and sees a big old yellow contraption of some kind, and she'll say, why don't I have one of those? Because she just loves the leverage that they have and how much they can accomplish in a short period of time. And she is so impressed with the operators of these machines, and she has used these words so many times. That machine is an extension of that man's mind. It's as if his fingers attached to his very arm, the way he is able to move it and pick up small things with it. She just loves watching someone that is at one with a piece of equipment like that. And we're wanting to, in a sort of sketchy sense, liken that to your inner being, who is exploring through the details of that which you are. You have the dexterity, you have the leading edgeness, but your inner mind, your inner being, has the big picture and the confidence and the knowing, and knows everything that you've put into the vortex, and so knows the full vision of what you have in mind. So this is your creation, but it is our co-creation. You see what we're getting at? And we're just wanting you, and you've already accomplished it, we want you to feel the bigness and the desirability of that kind of connection versus just letting your mind wander. We want you to feel more of who you are in the now. When you're ordering your lunch, or when you're visiting with a person, or when you're driving your vehicle down the road, or when you're visiting with your children, or whatever it is that you're doing in your now, let yourself be the extension, the co-creative partner of that broader self. Because everything that you want is because of moments like that. You just have forgotten how it is that you accomplish that, you see. It's focus, it's staying in your lane, it's momentum, it's understanding of the laws of the universe, it's alignment, it's receptive mode, it's getting into the receptive mode, and then it's getting to the receptive mode, and then. So what we're really saying to you is, if you're not in a receptive mode, take a break. Don't hammer through, don't persevere, don't effort and struggle. Don't allow yourself to teach yourself results with the mediocrity of action only. Don't allow yourself to be, in any moment in time, satisfied with action only. Let it always be action inspired from alignment. And then watch the excellence of your results. Yes, yeah, you take something beautiful and you say, see what I've accomplished, but more than that, it's the experience of it happening within you, isn't it?
It really is.
Sometimes you think that you are at the end of your discovery of what that machine can do when you've just begun. Sometimes you think you're at the end of even asking for a machine to do anything when you've only just begun.
Well, I have more than inklings of that, and I learned an important lesson to really get out of my own way and let others who, it's more like their time to accomplish certain things. Jokingly, someone remarked that I was maybe perhaps the first person to have gotten entirely into this vortex on this trip, because I was the fellow who wanted to swim out to the black water and then I couldn't get back in. So a young fellow who was able to swim like a bullet brought out a life preserver. I hung on and he dragged me back in. And swimming is something that I thought I had real solid ability in. And
co-creating is where your solid ability is. Allowing the universe to yield to you whatever you want, whatever you need, whenever you want it, whenever you need it.
Well, yes.
There's as much success in that co-creation as there would have been if you had swum all the way out and swum all the way back.
You're right.
No one's asking you to go it alone. Have you been listening to what we've been saying all day, every day? We're here to help. Not to do for you, but to co-create with the vibrational alignment that you accomplish. Are you doers or beers? Are you doers or creators? Do you create through action or through thought? Primarily. Is action part of the creation? Is it the dominant part of the creation? Can you create without alignment?
Yes, you can.
Can you clean up the mess later? Can you clean up the mess without alignment? Is a mess a problem? Is a mess an opportunity to get into alignment? Does a mess help you focus more? Is focus delicious? So isn't it all worth all of it?